Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of After I Lost You. I'm Matt Smith, and today I am doing my first guest episode and get to have my good friend Raymond Brazier.
What's up, guys?
So excited to have you on the show here, man.
Yeah.
Let's see, Raymond and I met on our mission, serving in California Roseville Mission,
Oh, yeah.
about 9 years ago. Does that sound right?
Yeah. We met pretty early on, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Because we served around each other, and then we end up becoming companions as well, zone leaders in Rockland for a while.
That was fun.
That was
Three
fun.
transfers.
That was awesome time.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
So anyway,
It's been a while.
go back to the mission, and Raymond's just been one of my good buddies I've stayed in contact with since the mission, and we've regularly talked and hung out, done workouts.
Oh, yeah.
Both training for a High Rocks right now.
Oh, yeah. It's going good.
We just did a High Rocks workout the other day. It was great.
Yeah.
So how you feeling about the High Rocks?
I'm feeling good. I was feeling good, but then just yesterday at a basketball tournament, I'm not going to put my ankle up in this shot, but it is like a balloon right now. I rolled it twice.
So what happened? You just came down on it or what?
Yeah, I came down on someone's shoe the first time and sat out the rest of that game. Played 2 more games, felt all right, and then I was driving to the basket, stepped on someone's shoe again, rolled the same ankle in the same position, and I was just out the rest of the day, laying on the floor with an ice pack on my ankle.
Sorry, man.
It was rough.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was rough. So I'm not feeling super great about it now, but I was. So hopefully I get back to there.
Is that going to affect your High Rocks?
It shouldn't.
Should be healed up in
Yeah.
a month. We got what, like 5 weeks till Salt Lake City High Rocks?
I've also known to be kind of stupid and not recover super well from injuries and just start training again. So
I know we were planning on doing another High Rocks workout next week. Is that
yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, get that healed up, man. Get that healed up.
Yes, sir.
So
yeah, we'll get it.
Cool, man. Well, stoked to have you here. Appreciate being my first guest speaker. So we're here to talk about your brother.
Yeah.
So after I lost you, tell us a little bit about who you is, your brother. Tell us his name, what you remember about him, some of your favorite memories. Let's learn about him.
Yeah. So his name is Trevin, but no one calls him Trevin. We all call him T-Ball.
T-Ball. I love it. It's a sweet nickname.
Yeah. Me and my other younger brother, just quick backstory, when he was born, his head was in the shape of a ball. And so we just called him T-Ball from the hospital since literally day 1 of his birth, and it's stuck ever since.
Really?
Yeah. Just a little T-Ball.
That's awesome.
So yeah, T-Ball is my you. He's, one of my best friends, a younger brother of mine. And yeah, I guess what else did you want to know?
Yeah, so tell us maybe some of your favorite memories with T-Ball growing up. What was he like? How was your guys' relationship?
Yeah.
What when you think back about T-Ball, like what do you remember most of him?
Yeah, T-Ball was just a huge goofball. And with a name like T-Ball, I guess it makes sense, but he is just the biggest goofball, but also the kindest kid and the most athletic kid too. Like he was just a freak athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Right up until the day he died, he was on the track and field team at SCU, and he was gonna crush it in hurdles.
Really?
Yeah, just super fast kid. But growing up, he was just kind of awkward, kind of just goofball. We all kind of were. I am myself, so it's fine.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, it runs in the family. Yeah. But just about him, he was also just very nice and looked out for people a lot. At his funeral, there's a story shared where during high school, T-Ball had a friend that for some reason didn't have a belt or something, and his pants kept falling down in class. Super embarrassed. It sounds goofy, but I think it was like a sad situation for this kid or something. Man. But anyways, like T-Ball, he was the type of kid where he would take the shirt off his back for someone, and in this case, like, he literally took the belt off his own pants and just gave it to that kid. He was like, yeah, just take this. I don't need it. And so that one story kind of just sums up of how much he cared about people.
Mm-hmm.
And just loving people. Sometimes we'd work out together. Maybe an older brother, I kind of have like a little bit of like older brother pride, where I can't let my younger brother be faster than me. I can't let him beat me at one-on-one basketball. Turns out both my brothers did that, so it's like I'm humbled now. But like if I squatted with incorrect form, or if I did something that he knew how to help me with, he would forget about his workout and he would just focus on me. And so just very, very caring for people. But at the same time, just 100% unapologetically him. Where he was kind of known to just do flips,
like parkour type stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just parkour all the time.
Sounds like an athletic kid. Sports, parkour, gym.
Yeah. Dude, in high school, he would just run up walls, do backflips off them. He should have trademarked this, but he would do this thing called a flippin' sexy, where he does a backflip but lands on the side like that on the ground.
Called the T-ball.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
But everyone's like, do the flippin' sexy, and he'll just do backflip, land on the side, strike a pose.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just great.
So what's the age gap between you and T-ball?
About 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So he would have been 23 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would have been 23 right now.
Yeah.
How old was he when he died?
He was. Oh, that's a tough question. It was actually just a day or two after his birthday. So I think he had just turned. Oh, I should know this, but it's kind of just fuzzy.
Yeah.
Wait, it's 2026. Yeah, I actually don't know. I'll have to think about that.
No, that's
just
25.
like early 20s. I think 21 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? It's been 2 years, 3 years.
It's been because I'm trying to think, and my other brother Cade and his friend host a basketball tournament each year called the T-Buckets tournament. That was one of his nicknames, and that's how I keep track of years.
Gotcha. That's cool.
I think we just hosted the 4th year.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
awesome.
I think he would just turn 20.
Okay.
Like just barely turned 20. My math is probably not adding up at all, but those details are kind of fuzzy.
No, that's totally fine. So walk us through kind of that day. I don't know if you got a call. I don't know, how that all panned out, but kind of just walk us through that day of the day that he passed and what that looked like for you.
Yeah. So at the time, my wife Ryn and my son and I were living in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
When
you guys were in North Carolina?
Yeah, we're in North Carolina out at the beach. And I got a call from my mom. And she said, hey, is everyone there? Yeah, we're all here. What's up? She's like, okay. No easy way to say this, but... And at the time, T-Ball, he was at SCU on the track team, which is in Cedar City, Utah. And so my mom says, we got a call from the Cedar City Police Department, and they found T-Ball's body in his room. And that's all I kind of remember. Because right after she said that, my wife kind of just a huge gasp, and just starts crying. And me in my mind, I don't know if it's denial, but I was like, well, is T-Ball okay? Can you please elaborate? What's wrong with T-Ball? What does he need? Why are the police there? It was I just had never thought that that could have happened, that he could have been dead. That just wasn't a possibility in my mind. So
right.
I was very confused. But yeah, and then my mom kind of had to blame these, he's dead, he's gone. And Yeah, it was terrible because we were over. It felt like on the other side of the country, being in North Carolina, and T-ball being in Utah, and just so far away from my family. It kind of felt very very lonely. Rin was there, and she's an amazing wife. I had my young son there as well, but it just kind of just felt very absent and far off. But yeah, that's kind of how we found out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be so tough being that far away.
Yeah, it was in that moment. Yeah.
When you kind of talk about that, I just think of my experience when Carly passed. Like, her parents were in California. Her sister was in Arizona, and I just think of they probably experienced something similar to you, getting that call and they're in a whole other state and not even close,
Yeah.
And so you guys got the call, and what did the next few days look like? Did you head straight to Utah?
Yeah, because they were doing his funeral that weekend. I think it was earlier in the week when he died.
Mm-hmm.
And so oh man, dude, that 4 or 5 days before he flew out was just terrible. Because
So you got the call and you didn't fly out to Utah for another 4 or 5 days?
yeah, we had to arrange some flights, get some stuff figured out. But yeah, and luckily my family stepped in and helped, aunts, uncles, my parents, and just helped us get out there. And just I forget who, so sorry if you're listening to this and you were the one, but someone came by to watch Kingston,
Okay.
my son, while my wife and I could go out there,
Okay.
and that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, those few days were just terrible because I just felt so just not in control, just being hundreds of miles away. Like my brother just died, and I don't know if this is a good spot to bring up, but he died from suicide, and it's his third or fourth attempt. And just knowing I'm so far away, I should have done more. I haven't even seen him, even just his body. Haven't seen his body yet. I took a couple days off. I mean, I took the time off from work, but then I'm just with my thoughts. So it was kind of just a little bit of a hell, until we finally got out there where I could see my family and see T-ball and his body and just go through those services. But yeah, it was pretty rough.
Dang.
Yeah.
So when you got to Utah, you guys did the funeral. How was that?
The funeral was good in its own way, as good as it could have been.
As good as a funeral can get.
Yeah. We were blessed with the opportunity to see T-ball's body at the mortuary before the funeral service.
How was that experience?
Oh, dude, it was, I had never cried more in my life.
Yeah.
Just seeing my little brother's body there.
Yeah.
But it was good in the sense that I got to go in that room by myself. So it was just me and T-ball in that room.
Really?
Yeah. And then my wife came in there and we both cried together, and then my family. But even just talking about it, just walking to the mortuary building, just the heaviness you felt and being inside. Just something you don't think you'll ever experience until you do. I don't know if yours
100% the same. Yeah. Same with Carly, right? Just even having to work with the mortuary, walk to the mortuary, going in and talking with them, picking out a casket, picking out, a gravesite. That whole process I had to do while I'm still in complete shock and denial. I think at our age, experiencing such a close loss, it's just like you mentioned, it's just something you never even think would happen in a million years.
Yeah.
And it never really crosses your mind. I going back a little bit, I thought it was interesting how you talked about when you got the call, it almost didn't register in your brain that T-ball was dead. I feel like I had that exact same experience with Carly. You know, as the ambulance and stuff came to our home and they're working on her for about an hour. Um, I was literally with her as she took her last breaths, but it never crossed my mind that she had just passed. Like, I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking, like, she needs help. The medics are coming. They're going to take care of her. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
We'll
So,
laugh about this one day. We'll get through it.
right. Exactly. I'm not even thinking that, like, she's passing. And so I think I just thought that was interesting how you mentioned, because I feel like I was the same. Like, I was in denial or whatever it was. Like, I wasn't even thinking or processing that, like, she had just died.
Yeah. When do you think that denial wore off and finally, like, kind of hit you?
Yeah, great question. I think I have my days that I still have my denial.
Yeah.
And it's been a year and a half now. You know, being 3 or 4 years for T-ball, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like I still just have days where I still can't believe that she's actually gone. Like, it still doesn't process in my brain that she's gone. And it's like I still have my moments I'm in denial, like, no, I'm going to see Carly again, or I'm going to go home and she'll be there. And
yeah.
So I don't know if you feel similar with T-ball or not.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. And this is another thing I feel guilty about. Just the past couple of years, like leading up to his death, we were out in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we didn't see each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with his third or fourth attempt being finally going through, he had other attempts before that, obviously. After those happened, he came out to stay with one of our aunts and uncles in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see him there. It was great. He actually came and stayed with us at our house for a little bit, and we went to my aunt's house to see him. That was awesome. But other than those few times, I didn't see him in person a lot. And so it kind of just pains me to admit that, I don't know, it's just, I'm kind of even losing my train of thought here, but even before his death, I didn't see him a lot, and so I don't feel like I have those moments as much. Right. Where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go home for family dinner. We're gonna shoot some hoops with the boys, you know, the Brazier boys.
Right.
Oh, he's not there. I don't have that feeling just because
you were living far away anyway.
Living far away.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the reality. Obviously, if I knew what would have happened, I don't feel like, I don't know, maybe we wouldn't have moved out. I can't say that for sure. But it's just hard knowing that the last couple of years of his life, just we weren't there a lot.
Do you feel like that's a pretty heavy thing that's still weighing on you to this day?
I feel like heavy in the sense of when I talk with other people, or even my brother, other family members who were there a lot more, and they feel that, and I can't relate. I miss him so much. I love him so much, but I just don't have those feelings of, oh, why aren't they here? Or like those pieces of denial. And part of me wants to feel that way.
Yeah. To
associate myself with the other loved ones that are feeling the loss. But if I'm honest with myself, I don't. And so that is, it takes up some of the guilt that I still struggle with.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a moment where you were able to accept that T-Ball had passed and it wasn't, you kind of mentioned at the start, you know, there's some denial, but when do you feel like that was not the case anymore, that you fully accepted that he had passed?
When you asked that question, an experience came to my mind where, and I promise this does answer the question. Maybe not apples to apples.
I love to hear the experience.
Yeah. So my T-Ball, my other brother Cade, and me, when us three would get together, especially as we were older, it was such a fun time. We could even be at like a little kid playground. But we're all like these older kids, just having the time of our lives together, just doing whatever, playing hoops, you know, anything with water, like water sports, cliff jumping, whatever it was. We were just having the best time. Um, with T-ball gone, it's just K and I now. But now I have a son, Kingston, and he's 5 now. And sometimes Cade, Kingston, and I will go and do something fun. The experience I'm thinking of was we went to a rec center pool, and Cade, Kingston, and I just kept taking turns jumping off the edge into the pool, into the water. And in that moment, it felt like there wasn't a void anymore from T-ball being gone. I don't know if it was because we felt T-ball there with us. And honestly, I wouldn't doubt it at all if T-ball was there. Just knowing how much he loved to hang out with us and his family, his friends. But it was just, I think in that moment, I didn't feel a void that I had felt before. Maybe it was acceptance. Maybe it was a part of me moving on. And not to say that Kingston replaced T-ball at all, but it just felt that, we had it's hard to explain. It just felt that it was okay.
Yeah. And
that even though T-ball wasn't there, maybe it was there in spirit, and we were all having a fun time, us Brazier boys, Kingston included, and it'll be like that one day again. It felt right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's been a little bit of time since he's passed. 4 years. I'd say you're a little further along in the process than I am of experienced grief, right?
For sure. Maybe.
So looking back at, the last 4 years after T-ball has passed, what would you say has been the hardest aspect of your grief?
That's a really good question. You're pulling out the big guns. The hardest aspect of my grief the past couple.
Yeah, for you personally, just going through your grief, what's been the hardest part on you?
Yeah. I'm trying not to make it sound basic, but it's just kind of just regrets, just self-guilt. I'm lucky where no one is making me feel guilty or anything. It's not an outside source. It's just an inner guilt.
Right.
Me and my siblings didn't have the best childhood all the time. Had some great moments. Overall, I feel like I had a good childhood. But like most people, we had our down moments. And me just being the oldest brother of Mike Brazier's siblings, sometimes I felt like I had to take on a guardianship role and just look out for them. We would fight a lot growing up, but some of these experiences brought us together and made us best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so just knowing that my little brother, someone that I kind of had to look after and just protect in a way, just was struggling. And even after multiple attempts, I couldn't be there to help. And even if I was calling him every day, even just physically being there, or just emotionally, mentally, I couldn't help him. And it's not that I'm blaming myself for what happened. That's not the case. I think it's a little bit of just survivor's guilt and wishing I could have done more. And everyone tells me there's really nothing more he could have done. It was his decision, and all that's true. But sometimes it just doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
And when he died, I left him unread,
Mm-hmm.
And that small thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Texted me a couple days before, and life was just busy, and I just didn't respond. And just small little regrets there have been hard. I feel like I'm in a good place with that now, just because I felt T-ball's presence just through experience of my life. But if I had to pinpoint the hardest part, it would probably be just with those regrets of just feeling like I wasn't there enough.
Yeah. You mentioned you feel like you're in a good spot now with those regrets and that grief and stuff, and the guilt. Talk us through like what's helped bring that peace.
Yeah, it's funny. What's brought me the most peace are two things: it's the gym and it's Jesus. You know,
I love that.
I would say the two G's, but Jesus with a J, so I can't.
I love that.
But dude, it's the gym and Jesus, and I even think, you know, Jesus gave us the gym, you know, figuratively, right? Not literally, but
right. Yeah.
Those, of course, Jesus more than anything else, but he's just helped me so much to mourn correctly. I've talked a lot about the bad stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's more good than bad in my experience.
Yeah.
And the good has been just kind of turning to Jesus more than I would have ever thought to help me, even just to help me breathe those first couple days.
Yeah.
Those first couple days, couple weeks, couple months, that first year. It's just helping you live life in a way that you never thought you would have to. But a tool that God has helped me with is just fitness, T-ball, being super athletic, super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Those are where I find him sometimes. I find him in competitive events. I find him on the track, you know, on my long runs. Sometimes, this might sound weird, sometimes I'll run in cemeteries because it's peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I have close family members there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun sometimes when I'm running, exercising, or even in an actual race, I'll think of him.
Mm-hmm.
And in my prayers to God, I'll, you know, like, hey, I want to talk to T-ball. You know, I want to see if he can come here with me and run this with me. You know, he would whoop my trash if he was actually running with me. He beat me in a race, you know, pretty, like, before he passed away, not too long, he beat me in a race, and it was demoralizing. But just having him with me in those times, I've found him in exercise, and that's a tool that God has used to help me in this recovery.
I love that, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I think so true that God just puts the things in our lives that are going to remind us of our loved one we lost, you know?
Yeah.
And I love the gym and Jesus. I feel like that's, since I've lost Carly, like I've been in the gym so much, and I've gotten a lot of just mental clarity in the gym, running, biking, you know, all these fitness things I do. But putting that hand in hand with my faith in Jesus as well is like, it really is a powerful combination, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Christ has so many tools in his tool belt. Mm-hmm. And for you and I, you know, we have the fitness in common, that it helps us heal, helps us recover, helps us process. Even if I go a week where I don't go to the gym because I'm sick or injured or something, or life gets crazy, like, my mood is so much different.
Right. Yeah.
So it's amazing. And I do have to plug in one other thing. My wife is amazing. So I gotta make sure I gotta get that in there. Like, I can't understate how much she has helped. Because she was also really close with T-ball. She did hurdles in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's a freak athlete herself. She won't say it. She's more humble than me.
No, I love that you brought your wife up, Rin, right?
Rin, yeah.
Let's talk about that just for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
If there's anyone out there that maybe has lost a sibling, right? Like, how has your spouse helped you through that?
Yeah, and I didn't even think about bringing this up, so this is all just going off the whim here, but she's been patient, and she's never tried to force, like, healing or recovery. Like, she's always let me go at my own pace. And been very mindful of me. And she's been kind of, this might not make sense, but she's been proactive in my healing process, where she's just asking how I'm doing with that. Like, hey, how are you doing with T-ball? Like, do you think this might help? Or it's like, hey, do you appreciate when I ask about that? Do you appreciate if I give a suggestion that something might help? Or do you just want me to kind of let you do your own thing? Like, she's just very mindful and asks how I need her to support, or how I would like her support.
That's awesome.
So just because I know some, maybe spouses might just want to jump in and be like, okay, crap, it's go time. We gotta do this and this and this. And she never really did. Just very, very calm and caring, but also being proactive just enough to make sure that she is helping, but not being overbearing at all.
That's great.
Yeah. I hope that made sense.
It totally did. She sounds like an amazing wife.
Yeah, she's great. I'm lucky.
That's great, man. A few more questions here. I want to dive a little deeper into how your faith has played a role in losing T-ball and, going through your grief, and your relationship with God and Jesus. So has your relationship with God and Jesus changed in these last few years? If it has, what does it look like now versus how maybe it looked like before in your life? And just an overall, like, what do you believe and how's your faith help you?
Yeah. And some people have asked me, like, if I've been mad, at God. I'm sure people have asked you the same. I'm sure everyone who loses someone is asked that question. It's kind of a guarantee. Yeah. And it's probably not coming from a bad place when they ask that, but I think in this opportunity, your relationship can get stronger or it can diminish, and sometimes both. Maybe at first it diminishes, and you might be mad at God, and when I look back in my relationship with God through this experience, at first you just feel anger, you feel mad, and that was a surprising emotion I felt. I did not expect. I'm a really chill guy, but I felt very mad, and kind of at everyone. It was pretty bad, and God included. I was a little mad. I've always had faith in God and Jesus Christ and God's plan, the plan of salvation. So I never doubted my faith. I was more of just mad that, not that he could let this happen, because we make our own choices. Unfortunately, T-ball made his choice. Unfortunately, as hard as that is, it's also hard that God's not going to step in. He gives us agency to make our own choices. I think I was mad because I felt mad and I had to put it on somebody. But with how loving Jesus is, I feel like, not that he's okay with us being mad at him, but with how loving and understanding he is, I think he's like, okay, if you need to be mad at me, like, okay, you can feel that way, but let's work through that together. And so we did. And that's not scripture, obviously. That's just kind of what it felt like for me. Where it's like, Father, like, I'm just mad. I kind of feel mad at you. It's not justified at all, but this is how I feel. I don't want to feel this way, and so can you just help me? But luckily, God's been everything to me, and so it's only just strengthened my relationship with him, and even just understanding of him, and the closeness I feel is deeper towards him. So for that, I'm grateful for.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with that. I'm on the same boat. I think of definitely go through my times I'm mad, question everything.
Yeah.
mad at God, but like overall, I look at my relationship with God now, and I'm like, wow, it is so much more meaningful and deeper than it was before because what I've gone through.
If you had to pinpoint where you're at now, like where are you at right now? If you don't mind me asking.
Spiritually?
Yeah. I know it's waves, it's roller coasters.
It is waves, yeah. Right now, it's hard because, grief is just, it comes in waves, right? I mean, it's just all over the place all the time. It comes in waves. You can have, within a day, you can feel all the different emotions, right? And so, but right now, I do feel like I'm in a good spot. I feel like I don't have all my questions answered. I don't have my grief taken away from me, but I'm in a spot where I have my full faith in Heavenly Father and Jesus.
Nice.
I still have a lot of questions, obviously, but I truly believe those questions will get answered one day, and I truly believe that this is the plan. It's not the plan I asked for or the plan I hoped in my life, but I do believe that there's a bigger picture that I don't see and I don't understand. I think Carly has a better perspective and understanding of that now on the other side than I do. So I find myself having a lot of trust in Carly and Heavenly Father and Jesus that they know things I don't know, and it's hard. It sucks a lot of the time, but I just have to have faith that she's okay, and Jesus got my back, and I'll get my answers one day, but I'm still here on this earth, and I gotta live my life with faith. So
yeah, I guess that's kind of a hard question to answer too. Breakfast you could be feeling great, but lunch rolls around and it's just like
exactly
living hell.
yeah. And that's the hard thing with grief. It's just, it's almost hard to explain that to people. That there's the good days and the bad days, but there's also the good hours and the bad hours within a day. So it's a roller coaster of emotions for sure.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you've learned about yourself since you've experienced grief? What has grief taught Raymond?
Oh boy. Dude, can I just compliment you with all these good questions you're asking?
Appreciate it, man.
Thought-provoking questions.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I think a couple things, right? As I'm sure it's taught you a lot of things, but number one, like I mentioned earlier, I got really mad when T-Ball died. I was just old man, grumpy, angry energy. Get the crap off my lawn. I'm a shoot with my red wire BB gun sort of thing. So it showed me that dark side of what I could become if I don't get my spiritual crap together. So that's I do consider that a blessing. Hey, Raymond, stay in line. If God's talking with me, stay close to me, because you could be like this all the time if you're not careful. And so that was good that I saw that. But I think also just this has taught me that through God's help, I can overcome hard things. And that is kind of a phrase that's used a lot. But this was one of those trademark experiences that, I guess, hallmark experiences that just showed me that I needed God to get through this, because if I didn't have him, sure, I could keep living, I could keep breathing, but I would be a different person than I am now. And so it kind of showed me what I could do with God's hand, in my life. Because it just requires a lot of strength and just a lot of patience too. Again, going back to those first months, that first year to 2 years, in our society, we're so used to getting we could get an Amazon package in the next couple hours. You know, even a couple years ago, it's like, oh no, wait, you gotta wait three to 5 business days.
Right.
No, now it's a couple hours.
Yeah.
We're so used to things happening so fast. But this has taught me patience and just reliance on God's strength and really just on my own. So that's kind of what this has also taught me about myself, is just that I can do that.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
What has T-Ball's life taught you?
Okay, I love this. I love this question because it immediately is just to be like unapologetically you, because that's what T-Ball was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a quick little story is one of the best things about T-Ball is he had the worst pickup lines on girls. The worst. But his delivery was so just goofy, and he just owned it with such confidence that it worked for him.
Yeah.
It wouldn't for anyone else.
He got the girls.
Oh yeah, he was a ladies' man for sure. But it was just because his goofy personality, he was not afraid to be T-Ball.
That's awesome.
Just not afraid to be himself. Like, I was lucky enough to witness one of his pickup lines where we were at it was actually the same day we were working out together, and he helped correct my squat form, which was great. But later we were at the pool, and he's like, "Oh, Raymond, should I go ask that lifeguard for a number?" Or I'm like, "No." I heard about his pickup lines. I'm like, "No, just use one of your T-ball pickup lines." Like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." And so it's like, let me think about that. So we sat there on those lawn chairs for a couple minutes, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I got a good one." So we walk up, and he goes up to this lifeguard, and sit on the stand, and he's like, "Hey, so as a lifeguard, are you supposed to watch people in the pool and make sure they're not drowning?" And I'm thinking, crap. And she's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm not in the pool." And she just stares at him for like 5 seconds, and she's like, "Oh, haha." He's like, "Yeah, can I get your number?" And it was just like, just doesn't make any sense. And obviously that one was a dud. You know, it wasn't on him, it was on her. But but that's what's great about T-ball is even if they didn't work, he just didn't care, because he's like, "Oh, that was so funny." You know, like he was in it for the love of the game. You know, he just had fun with it.
That's awesome.
So long story short, just to be myself, because like there's only gonna be one Raymond of me. There's only one T-ball, only one Matt.
Yeah.
Only one you, and so just to be yourself and live your own life to the fullest, just being the best version of yourself.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
How has your relationship with your brother changed since he's passed?
Hey, bro, you're just being mean now. No, that's really good. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's a tough one. How's my relationship with T-ball changed? I don't know. I kind of feel bad saying this, but I feel like I appreciate him more, and I feel bad saying that because of like, oh, about all my other family members who are still here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like of course I love and appreciate them.
Yeah.
But you know, when someone passes, you reflect a lot about their lives and their legacy and what they left behind. And so I've been able to do that a lot with T-ball. And since T-ball passed, I've changed myself. You know, I've become a father of 2 now. The past 3 years, I've had a career transition. You know, I've gotten a lot into, you know, exercising with running. So I've changed a lot myself. So I think if he were here today, our relationship would be different than it was when he passed.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say how it's changed and what it's looked like. And I'd be curious to hear how yours has changed, you know, with Carly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's something, when someone dies, I think the human mind thinks like, oh, like that relationship is over, right? Like they're not here anymore. I can't have like a person to person relationship with them, which is true. But I think there's definitely a spiritual aspect that I found with Carly and I's relationship of just a deeper understanding and love I've felt towards Carly. And I think I'm feeling that back from her as well.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I quite expected, you know. I say all the time, like since she's passed, I've just gained more love for Carly. I've just fallen more deeply in love with her. So I don't know if you felt that with T-Ball, but just like a love that, obviously I loved her so much when she was here, but I'm feeling a new level of love since she's passed.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And I think it kind of goes back to just, you know, when you lose someone, you just reflect a lot about your memories with them, their life. Totally. Like I admire T-Ball so much, and when I see him again, I hope I'm more like T-Ball. As I mentioned, I've changed, you know, like I feel like I've changed and become like the best parts of T-Ball.
Yeah.
You know, like taken his competitiveness and his originality, and those are the things like I'm trying to take on myself.
Yeah.
Especially just to teach my kids.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, talking to my two kids, like just be you, like be the best version of you.
Yeah.
And go out there and find joy in competition, you know, like that is fun, and not just competing against others, competing against yourself.
Yeah.
Like loving yourself, but also competing against yourself to push yourself become better. And so when I see T-Ball again, I hope to be more like him in those ways. And so I feel like that's kind of how our relationship has changed a little bit. I'm trying to become a little more like him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I feel the same with Carly.
Cool.
You know, when I see her again, I want to be more like Carly.
Yeah.
You know, that's awesome.
Yeah. Can I answer another question you did not ask?
Yes.
Advice for someone who wants to give advice for someone they know that they've lost. If that made any sense at all.
Yeah.
So like if you know someone who lost somebody, you want to give advice to them, I would say don't. I would say don't go up and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I know how you feel. Oh, I lost this and this person too. So I know what you're going through." Or, "Oh, with God's plan, you'll see him again one day, so it's okay." Like, for me, those are trigger phrases that just made me even more mad. And other people I've talked to that have lost other ones, like, you just don't want to say those things.
I'd agree with that.
Okay, cool. Not just me. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But to answer the question you asked, is what advice I would give somebody if they just lost someone.
A sibling, specifically if they just lost a sibling.
If they lost a sibling, yeah. I would say a couple things, right? If they asked me, right, I'm not going to give unsolicited advice, but if they asked me, I would tell them to try and love God more than you do now, and to love yourself more than you do now too. Because when you lose a sibling, you're probably going to go through a lot of phases of guilt and regret. And if you don't handle that carefully, you could hate yourself. You could downward spiral. And I don't think God wants us to do that. I don't think anyone wants you to do that either. But it's really easy to. So just give yourself grace. You know, just, and even talking to me, like, I can't change the past. I can only change what I do now. So just give myself some grace. You know, just love the memories that I do have, and just love the legacy that my T-Ball left behind, and love God, because T-Ball also loves God. You know, we love the same person. You know, we have that bond. When you lose a sibling, you just go in a dark place, and so just added degrees of love. I feel like that's kind of an umbrella effect where it bleeds out into every other aspect.
Yeah. I love that. If T-Ball was listening to this conversation, what would you tell him?
I would probably tell him I might be able to beat him in a race now. I'm getting a little faster. No, that's a lie. I could not beat him in a race still. Never. that ship has sailed. I would just tell him that I love him a lot, of course. I think other than the me telling him I love him, I would just tell him how excited I am to hang out with him again. How excited I am to introduce my kids to him. He met Kingston. I think Kingston was a little younger than 2 when he passed away. But he's 5 now, and he just resembles T-Ball so much in so many different ways. And
really,
my second, he has blondish, almost red hair, and T-Ball had red hair, and it's just like, and my second's middle name is Trev, after Trevin, which is T-Ball's real name. And so it's so fun to see them growing up and have these similarities. And I don't know if it would be more of telling him, but also just showing him, be like, hey, T-Ball, these are your nephews. Like, they're grown up now. Like, let's go have some fun. They're just like you. They like doing this like we used to. Though those are the things I look forward to the most. It's just having fun with my kids with T-Ball there. Just knowing how much he would enjoy that too.
Not sure how the other side works, but if there's a way for T-Ball to hear that message, I'm sure he's listening, or he'll hear it.
Yeah, hope so. Yeah.
Love it, man. Cool. Well, that's all the questions I had for you. Is there anything else top of mind that you were hoping to share today that you want to hear at the end?
I don't know, man. Those are all some very good questions. You're very good at thinking about questions.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No, I feel like I got everything out. Other than just kind of the main points of just trusting in God and loving God. And that sounds kind of basic and mainstream, but it's really like the best medicine,
Yeah. I agree.
I think that's it.
I agree. Cool, man.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate you being my first guest on After I Lost You. It's great to hear more about T-Ball, and I've known you for obviously a while, like we talked about. So I've known T-Ball, died of suicide since he did die, because I've known you that long. But it was nice to sit down and hear all sorts of things I didn't know, and I haven't heard about T-Ball. So
yeah, it's fun talking about. So it's how we keep them, alive. Honestly.
Keep their memory alive.
Yes, exactly, dude. Honored I could be the first guest. Huge fan of this podcast since day one. So this is great. Thanks, Matt.
Sweet. Appreciate it.